my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make, I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say
202 recap for season 15, episode 3. A Star is Reborn, Real Housewives of Atlanta. How are you, Miss Iffy?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Good evening, everybody.
Yes. Good afternoon to our American viewers. And go ahead. You're saying good evening to
Good
our...
evening to my European friends.
Yes, indeed. I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday, and I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. And we're going to go ahead and get right on into it. We're not gonna keep you guys for very long. So we opened this episode with Cherie, her private chef, prepping for the girls' brunch with Sonia and Marlo. They arrive and they begin to dish on BravoCon that just passed. What did you think, Miss Iffy?
Wow. I was just looking at this scene and I thought to myself, Milo is just trying to build a team around her. And her team just seems to be people. I mean, at first, they missed the whole point of like having a real conversation other than talking about hotel, ho. And I kind of thought to myself, oh,
Right.
that man, that really. And what I didn't really think, I didn't appreciate is her saying that she wants still receipts from her friends and to be able to respect. But how can you respect with somebody who's has very bad reputation and hasn't earned the respect from anybody's as a woman?
Yeah, you're talking about Martell now, right? He hasn't
Yes.
really earned that respect.
No.
Yes, and everybody knows him from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's be serious, right? Everybody knows him from that show. They know him to be a long-term serial cheater who had an outside baby on his wife while they were married. So, yes, not looking good for him, but she wants her frenemies to support and respect her man friend, because I don't know, he doesn't really have a title, nor does she, right?
No.
Doesn't seem to be like the girlfriend or the woman. I mean,
I
just
mean,
I don't know.
the bit that made me laugh is her saying that, I wouldn't be with him if he was the person that he's showcasting on his show.
Yeah, wasn't that a weird, odd line? Like, what does she think he's showing us on his show? Does she think that he's acting on that show, but then being himself more so with her because she's the new boo?
Yes, I think she's definitely buying whatever he's selling to her in private.
Ah, we women, we are so gullible and so romantic at times. These guys get us every time with those lines and that bad boy behavior. But what about also at BravoCon? What came up that Mama Joyce is still like throwing dish shots at Candy's husband Todd. What did you think about that?
Oh, listen, Mama Joyce just is cloud chasing. I'm really, really sorry because Todd has proven to us over the years now he's signed whatever document she wanted him to do. Every little challenge she presented to him as a mother-in-law, he agreed and accepted the challenge. So to me, watching as a viewer, I'm like, do you know what? You're just telling me the same thing again and you are being very disrespectful to your daughter's husband and your daughter, to be honest with you, because it's past the moment where she had a concern as a mother.
Right. I don't know. I always wondered, why do you think Mama Joyce continues to do this? Do you think that is she doing it for attention? Why do you think she's doing it?
Oh, definitely. I think she always wanted to let him know that she was number one in Candy's life. And
Ah, okay.
that's it. Yes, she always wanted to have literally on that place and to let him know, or no matter who came into her life, that she's not going to be cutting out of that will.
Which is an odd thing because, I've always wondered about that. It seemed like Mama Joyce, I'm not really sure if she's afraid that she'll be forgotten because Todd is there and the new babies. I'm not really sure what she's thinking about. If you guys are out there, if you could give us your opinion, if you're watching on the replay, be sure and drop down in the comments because I really don't understand Mama Joyce. I really don't. I don't get her. Like, or is she just doing this because she's miserable and doesn't have a husband of her own? I've often wondered that part too.
Do you know what I always wondered? Because I always wondered, is Candy the one who's raising her? Because Candy, to me, as a viewer, I watch it, Candy
Hmm.
seems to be the one who can never cut the cord and the one who always has to be sensitive towards her mother, and it's never other way round. She has
Yeah,
to
like
be
she's the
her back.
mother almost. Like she's mothering. They have
Yes,
a term for that in psychology, and I can't think of it right now, but it's basically there's a term that means that you basically parenting your parent. You basically
yes.
parent them, you
She
know?
is. I mean, what normal human being would accept her behavior? Because you can see she's in the middle. She's never going to choose between her husband and mother. But the fact that her mother's constantly disrespecting her marriage, and it's not just the marriage anymore. She is telling it to everybody, and she knows she can never be cut off from her relation with Candy. That's why she always saying, "Remember, I'm number one." And she's behaving like that child who's just jealous of the fact that after you raised them and now they're adults, you have your own life and you've got a new husband.
Right, right, right. Which I always thought initially when Candy first met Todd and they got together and they started planning to have additional children, I always thought it made perfect sense to me because Candy was still young, and although she had her daughter, who was kind of at that point maybe I think what about 13 or 14 years old, something somewhere in there. Now she's graduated from college. Now that's how
Yeah.
long ago this was. I always thought that that's what many women, not all, but many women want in life. They have a successful career. Candy has a successful many careers and many businesses and industries. But I thought that the fullness of life is part of it is having your family too, as a woman, having your husband, your spouse, your children around you, and raising your children together with their dad. And I thought that was something. Why would she want to miss out on that? I couldn't understand why Mama Joyce didn't seem to understand that. And the first thing I thought many seasons ago was, is Mama Joyce jealous because she doesn't have a man? She doesn't have a husband? And no one up front and center that we can see. I'm not saying that she doesn't date. She probably does go out on dates. She's a very attractive, mature woman. But I always wondered that. Did you?
No, I always wondered of her first. I thought she was just being a protective mother. And
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yes.
because of her past of the father of her child. And I also thought it was because she was there when Candy started her career and obviously
Yes.
supported her as a mother, as a young mother as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was that, but and that she was trying to protect him, protect her and her asset at the beginning. But now I just think it's a cloud chasing. It is she's nothing without her dissing Todd. She cannot be on the show. She's not irrelevant anymore.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. But at this point, like you would think with a decade, excuse me, guys, with over a decade into their marriage, you would think that Mama Joyce would have some respect for Todd as a husband and for their marriage. And even if she doesn't still like him, what to me also Candy's responsibility to her husband is to get her mother to understand that she must respect her marriage. But seasons past, I've never really seen Candy really do much about Mama Joyce. She just kind of shrugs her shoulders and just says, "Well, that's the way she is." She accepts it. That's the way she is.
I
So I
think also in the past, watching past seasons, watching her,
don't. Hmm.
she tried to untell her, but her mum emotionally blackmails her. In the
Blackmails are like, can you give an example of how?
Like she'd be like, "Oh, don't forget who was there for you. Remember what happened." That was what she was doing at the beginning with her. She was really trying to put a lot of doubt in her mind against.
Oh yeah, because the last guy before
Yeah,
Todd, right? I can't think of the guy's name. A long
the
time
music
ago.
producer. Yeah, but
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So I
Mm.
definitely think that woman just needs to go and see a therapist and get a life because this
Get
is
a
enough
life.
now.
That's the key thing I see. Yeah, she may not even need it, and I'm usually the one always pushing for all of these characters and castmates to see a therapist. But I think more than that, she needs to get her own life, get her own man, get her own adult toy, whatever that thing is that she needs, and just take care of business and leave Candy and her marriage alone because I know that's her daughter. I know she loves her, but there's better ways to support her rather than tearing down her marriage. That's what I think. So guys, drop down if you're here, drop down in the comments and also on replay. Be sure to like the video and be sure to leave us a comment and tell us what do you think about Mama Joyce? Why is she doing that? Why is Mama Joyce acting this way? But so we move on and let's see, where were we at here? So at the I thought this was funny too at the I'm sorry, I lost my place here for a second. Okay, so we see Drew and her husband Ralph reconnecting, after last season's marital issues and going to see a therapist. They, for some reason, decide to go rock climbing, but Drew's nails seem to get in the way. It looked fun, but I was like, "Oh my God, she is horrible at rock climbing." What did you think, Miss Iffy? What did you think of
Uh,
this scene?
and I'm really glad it wasn't just me that nails. I was like, where are you going? You cannot
Yeah.
even. Yeah, no. And honestly, like if you've seen it, I am a rock climber and I do outdoors as well. So I thought to myself, I was like, there's no way if you're my friend and I'm taking you to rock climbing, would I be allowing you to wear those nails? That is not health and safety. But I
Right.
was
That's all.
laughing because they were trying something new, so I have to give that to them.
Yeah, I've been rock climbing before, and it's fun. It's fun. The thing of it is to know if you're a beginner, you need to be on the beginner rocks though, because they do have like multiple levels, usually like 5, 6, 7 different levels, and you don't want to be a beginner trying to do the advanced rocks because that's not going to work.
Yeah, because they were on an autoplay, which is where you don't have a partner usually that to do the belaying for you. So to do that, you need to know what you're doing very well.
By the way, let me see. So, by the way, that is something that you do on a regular basis on real rocks out on mountains and whatnot, sides
Yes.
of walls. Because I think I saw your IG recently and you were climbing, you were scaling something overlooking the ocean. I was like, where is she?
Yeah, no, it's the rock climbing season outdoors. So yeah, and I have to place the safety and the gear and everything else. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so how long have you been rock climbing? May I ask you?
Just almost 2 years now.
Okay. And is it a good way, would you say, for us ladies to get into better shape? How do you train for that?
Oh no, I don't really train for it at all. It's something that I do outdoors. Like I've got my camping gears.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just like we'll organize an area to go to where specialized rock climbing with my club. But it's definitely an activity where we lack it as people of color. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
the only member of the whole group, and we're talking about over 1,000 members in the group.
Okay.
So
Okay. And you're the only female or the only
the
black
only
female?
black person.
Okay. Okay.
So
Oh, the only black person.
yeah, and
There aren't even any black. There aren't even any black men in the group of over a
no,
thousand.
actually, there was only two. There's only no. They. It's probably more than 1,000 because the club has been over 40 years. But what I'm saying, the ones that I know now still use the club. There's only two
Hmm.
black females. There is no male. Every time I go these outdoors activities, I rarely see anybody that looks like me or a person of color. And if I do, is one person.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna have to change that. You giving me an idea on a new activity I'd like to pursue.
Definitely. It's because it's so nice. I'm not sure if you guys have a lot of outdoor available, but for me, I used to take my boys to um,
Hmm.
camping every year
Hmm.
during summer, which means that we go by the lake and we have our tent and everything, cooking equipment, and they've just been running around swimming on the lakes and doing activities like that. So when I go rock climbing, I've got everything that I need, including my from food to camping gear.
Oh, nice. There's a YouTuber on a black YouTuber lady that does camping activities, and I love her channel even though I never go camping. I'm like, that looks kind of interesting. So maybe between the two of you, I'm going to get out there this summer because I already told my friends I am having a hot girl summer this year. So
Yes.
hey, hey, hey. Okay, we'll move on now. So
Honestly, I
anyway,
recommend people go
mhm.
outdoors, do hiking. There's a lot of movement that's happening here
Hiking,
in
I
the
love.
UK.
Hiking, I do
Yeah.
that. Yes, hiking, I love. Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. But we're gonna get back into this. So,
Yes.
okay. So, at BravoCon, Ralph was saying that some of the women were saying to him, "Gaslight me, gaslight me." What did you think of that? Ralph being told to gaslight them because apparently, that's a running joke that he gaslights his wife, Drew.
Yeah, it was so funny. They were like, Ralph, gaslight me, gaslight. And you know what? I I don't know. Maybe for me personally, I thought to myself she would have asked him to call him out on that. Like, because I wouldn't want my husband to be known that he's gaslighting me. I wouldn't want that
Hmm.
reputation for me or my family. So
Right.
I really I didn't understand. Yes, you can laugh about it, but you can laugh about it indoors. But I thought outside the house, you want to change that narrative. And it was
Yeah.
such a shame from my point of view that she didn't say to him, actually, do you know what? It's not funny, and not said that in front of the camera so this joke would stop.
Mhm, mhm. And so we move on to the next scene. Candy and Don Juan, her assistant for many, many seasons, many, many years, they are strategizing about her business obligations and trying to schedule that and her family time. So, Candy is grinding, she's grinding toward an EGOT. Over here, that's a big deal. So the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and what's the third one? What's the T stand for? Guys, somebody help me out there. What's the T stand for in the EGOT? But anyway, it's all show business, and these are the four highest awards that you can win in performance, singing, dancing, the theater, right?
Yeah.
So I just see Candy. She's always on her grind. She's managing another big Broadway play. We move on in the next scene where Candace, we find out from Drew that Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac is in town and she's going to be singing at the City Winery, and she's asked Drew to join her in a song. Drew thinks this is going to be her big comeback moment, Drew and Ralph. We're going to find out later if that's true or not, okay? Well, we'll just go ahead now. We'll just go ahead now and get into it. That that we get to the city winery. Now all the housewives are there. They've all come out to support Drew, and Candace is in her regalia. Drew has on a cute little outfit. They're on stage, and I think it was less than 1 minute that Drew actually sang and performed. Was that right?
Yes. Yeah, 43 seconds.
And how we know this? How we know this? Because Sonya actually timed it, and it was it was shorter than her race. It was shorter than her race, right? So she could
Yeah,
become the
she's
fastest woman in the world. So that's sad. That's sad. I mean, how did you feel while you were watching this? Did you feel bad? I felt bad for Drew. I
I
think
was
she got out
laughing.
a few little whoa whoa whoas and woo woo woo. You were laughing. You were laughing at her.
Sorry, you know what? I for the first time in the whole episode, I was laughing because of what all the ladies were saying in a confession about it, the shades. But it was a very like it was not a negative shade. It was the truth, but it was they were all saying it in a positive way. So I was laughing at the shades. You know, Sonia was like, "Oh, it took me longer to get my gold for 400 meters." Olympics. And yeah, I was laughing. I was really surprised and shocked, to be honest with you. And I also, looking at it in the scene, I thought to myself, hold on, wait. You told everybody that you were going to make a feature and you're basically selling Candice's show because all these people showed up for you and you only got 43 seconds from it. Business wise, this made zero sense to me.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I don't know. I just didn't understand. Like, why do you think Candace did that? Why do you think she had her up for just such a short time? Was it not so that she didn't steal the spotlight away, or was it because they I don't know. What was the reason? What was the point of that?
I Part of me think it's just that because I think she told her that she wants to be performing the. She told her in advance what was going to happen, which was because they only got one song together. Where
Oh, okay.
yeah, so she told her, and I think what it is that Drew always liked to escalate things to things that they are not.
Oh, kind of one of those people that hypes things up, sort of,
Yes,
kind of.
every
Oh,
single.
okay.
Yeah, she hyped it up like she was going to be actually featuring the show when she was only being told that she was going to be featuring that song.
Ah, got you, got you, got you, got you, got you. Ah, okay, okay.
And
Wow.
obviously,
Well,
Candice's business
mhm.
idea was that she knew she was gonna have camera time. So now it gives everybody, all the Real Housewives of Atlanta viewers, to see, oh my God, actually, am I worth going and seeing her show and check her name and actually
Mhm.
be on, trend on Twitter. So she got the better benefit deal of business wise than Drew did. And she had the cameras on her and all the ladies come and visit and get that market on Instagram before the show. So Candice was definitely a winner and she knew what she was doing.
Mm. I will say this for Ralph though. What did you think? Because Ralph, he did at least bring his wife a bouquet of roses and made sure that he gave them to her so that she didn't feel so bad about it. But you
I
know,
mean, it came from the petrol station, so no.
oh no, they were from the petrol station. I didn't realize. Oh my gosh, no, he's a cheapskate. Oh, fail, complete fail. Guys, don't buy roses from the gas station. Oh. Mm-mm. Better to buy the car from the gas station, but not the roses.
I know. At least could have gone and bought a box of chocolate with it.
Yeah, right. And the ending of this episode, it gets so we kind of in our last discussion last week, we kind of missed a little bit about the whole thing about the, as Sheree would say, is it going to be at Candy's restaurant and Todd's restaurant? Is it going to be biscuits or bullets?
Yeah.
Um, and Marlo, who lost her nephew recently to gun violence here in the States, actually gets very upset with Drew at the end as they're going out because Drew is not saying what needs to be said. Like, it's like Marlo really wanted her to be honest and call it, instead of an incident, she wanted her to call it um, shooting. She wanted her to call it a shooting. And so because she didn't, and because she can't get them to really focus, because her beef is, according to Marlo, now this is Marlo saying this is not me. Marlo thinks that everyone around production and executive producers they give Candy, because she's now queen of RHOA, they give her carte blanche, and nothing that if she doesn't want things mentioned, they're not going to be mentioned in the show, because why? She's the queen. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do, and I do. Okay, to also
To a degree.
one thing about the production is they don't do things unless it benefits them as well.
Mm.
So that's another thing we have to think about is what benefits them. If they put that point of view of saying, actually, this is what is happening, is shooting, it would not benefit the show.
That's true. The branding
The
of the
branding of
show.
the show would not.
And I also think, oh, not to cut you off, but I'm sorry. I think that last week, I think what Candy was saying, that while they were filming this show, that the trial had not come up. It was still in the court system. So here, I don't know about there in the UK, but here in the United States, when something is in the court systems, oftentimes the people related to the case can't speak publicly about it, because why? Because it may affect the jurors, it may affect the public opinion. So they're asked really to not really talk about it publicly. And publicly, of course, would be a show that's broadcast across not only the United States, but over there in Europe too, right?
Yeah.
So that could have had some, and you bring up a very good point. The branding for the show, that's not good for the branding of the show. um
But I
how is
also,
it Oh, go
sorry,
ahead. Go ahead. No,
I
no, go ahead.
also think what it is that when everybody has a contract, and with your contract, you can decide what you can talk about it. Obviously, if you're not
Mm.
important person, you're going to be rejected for that. But
Right, right.
you
Yeah.
know,
Don't you go trying that. Some of you friends of the show, don't you go trying that, okay?
I mean, we've seen that. They all should know by now. But so maybe that was part of the contract, and also legally, then you are right. They have to think about if something's in court process. Maybe the producers and everybody researched and realized that was a topic that they cannot discuss this season because um, the trial has not finished. And
Right.
and the other things that I didn't really understand is Marlon. She wants to, right? She's.
Hmm.
I mean, I see her. She wants to have a discussion about a topic, but she never brings it to the table. She always wants somebody else to do her dirty work.
Ah, good point. Good point. Like she was trying to do in this episode, trying to get Drew to be the one. Right, right. Why do you think she's trying to get somebody else to do her dirty work, though? Why can't she just stand 10 toes deep in it and just say it herself?
Because she needs these little dogs that she puppets that she can control to say to become their defense, so they can both shoot the bullet at once when the bullet's strong enough, which is what
Mm.
she's not capable. If it's just her versus Candy, she knows that's not going to happen and it's not going to work. So that's why she's keep running around trying to bring the string and talk, be better friends with Sonia, better friend. Like at the end of the scene, you can see her taking her anger out of Drew instead of
Hmm.
actually directing it. She was part of that group in that conversation. So she should have just say, actually, let's talk about the shooting that happened at blah, blah, blah. Why couldn't she not have addressed like that instead of saying let's not go around the bushes? Okay, of course Drew's not the greatest person, to be honest with you, to be bringing, but if you're the main person who has an issue, Drew's not the bone collector,
Right. No, she's
so
not.
she's not good at it.
Isn't that Sonya's job? I thought Sonya was for Sheree. What are those two ladies as the bone collector? I don't know. I'm just catching up
No,
this
not
season.
Sonia.
Who's the bone collector? Who's the bone collector this season?
Sh-
Isn't it
oh,
Sonya though?
oh, this
Truthfully,
season, yeah, she's proving to be that. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so. I think
she's
that's kind of
properly.
her job. That and making space for all the family members that live in that house of hers.
Yeah. And also, like, if you look at the franchise, I remember in Beverly Hill, Erica didn't want it to have a discussion about the case that was surrounded her husband and her's fraud,
Ah,
and they
yes, yes,
tiptoed around it. So there's definitely a legal reason why
yes.
certain things have been tiptoed, and also obviously she was persistent that she wasn't talking about it, so therefore
Hmm.
that's why she got the cut for the next season.
Yes, good point. Good point. Excellent points. Well, what do you see like coming down the pike? It looks like this season we're going to be seeing, as we wrap this up, we're going to be seeing a lot more of that Martell Hotel, whatever you call him, Holt guy. We're going to be seeing a lot more of him for Sheree. That's going to be her storyline, it seems. And I guess we're going to get a little bit deeper into how well therapy is actually working for Marlo. And do you think that Marlo and Candy are ramping up to go at each other before the
Oh,
season is over?
yeah. I mean, I think I always see Marlo's always been jealous of Candy. And
Ooh.
looking at the last three episodes, so far she's keep on trying to in line. First, she used to pick up on Kenya. Kenya is no longer listening to her nonsense. So
Mm-hmm.
now she's like, she knows the only two people who's gonna give her an airtime and a storyline is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Kenya or Candy, and that is where she's gonna focus on,
Good
because she's
point.
got
Good
nothing
point.
else going on
Yeah.
other than her nephew. She's got nothing else going on. So that's what she's gonna do. She wants to become the next Nini, and unfortunately, there's only one Nini on this show.
Yeah. No, there'll never be another Nene. Um, so we'll talk about it more next week. We'll see you guys back here next week for more of Real Housewives of Atlanta as we continue to recap. Be sure to drop down in the comments. You can leave us some purple hearts. What's your favorite color, Miss Iffy?
Blue.
You can leave us some purple hearts or some blue hearts. Blue hearts for Miss Iffy and purple hearts for me. And or just tell us where you're watching from. If you're watching from over in Europe, well, where Miss Iffy is, or you're watching over here stateside, or if you're somewhere else in the Caribbean islands, Canada, Australia, where have you? Okay, we'd love to know. So we thank you guys for being here. We thank especially our A-team member, Roro for real. Monique King, also our moderator extraordinaire. Oh, I see my friend Contessa. Guys, be sure to drop them in the comments section when the video is ended, too, if you don't mind. I appreciate you. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. They did blue and purple together. How clever you guys are. Okay, say bye. We're going to shimmy and shake on out of here, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.